Yes, good morning all, good morning. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. I am back with a tan after a very, 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 very long day yesterday, which shouldn't have been as long as it was, but after many, many hours of traveling and many late coach departures and planes and shuttles and baggage arriving, I am back. And how good it is to be live again. I went away 11 days ago thinking all that's left is a deadline day transfer window. Nothing's going to happen. And it did. Before we get going, okjersey.com. They're this way, aren't they? okjersey.com. I put in the scrolling bar as well. It says there, OK Jersey, replica football shirts. Like this one. £15, just under £15. And you get 8% off when you type in the code Savva. So SAVVA. Doesn't have to be Spurs. Whoever you support, they've got shirts from all around the world. Really nice. I got home last night to my I've been sent 7 or 8 shirts, and I've got lots of different ones. And this is very nice. Look, I'll show you. Look, it's all very nice. Look, it's all very nice. It's nice. Feels good. And yeah, there you go. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened since I've been gone, as per the thumbnail, as per the title of this show, whilst I was gone. Let me see if I can do this in order. And we're going to get stuck into all of this. Lubo will be joining us a little bit later on. Let me just see if any of these guys want to join. For anyone that's free now. There we go. There we go. There we go. Crazy stuff. So what's happened? So I went on the 31st. On the 1st, Kolo Muani signs on loan for Tottenham after lots of noise that Dominic Solanke has got a worse injury than we thought. Now, I don't know that. I actually haven't really looked out for that. I don't know if that's true. Is he out for 2 months? Is he out for 3 months? I genuinely don't know. But what happened on the last day of the window is Tottenham went in for Kolo Muani, and we got him on a year-long loan, I believe, with zero obligation. I believe there is zero obligation in terms of a buy clause. I don't know if there's an option, but I'm pretty sure there's no obligation, no option. However, I'll look at that a bit later. What else happened? Some little things happened, didn't they? Daniel Levy left. Daniel Levy left. And no, that's not the reason I'm wearing a Spurs shirt. This is from my sponsors, okjersey.com. This is a replica Spurs shirt. But they're good quality. I've got a Real Madrid one and a Jamaica top as well for my friend, and a PSG one for his kids. So lots of good stuff going on. But yeah, Tottenham lost, whichever way you want to look at this. Daniel Levy left the building. Now, there's a huge inquest that's been going on, isn't there? Was he pushed? Was he pushed? Was he asked to gently leave? I don't know. We're going to find out in due course, aren't we? Lots of people very, very happy about that. The inquest started. Lots of people going, oh my God, it's all changed. It's all changed. Levy's gone. Spurs are back. Are they? What? Back to what? I keep having this conversation. I keep having it with Lubo. What does that mean? What are Spurs back from, and what are we back to? So we'll be looking into that as the morning goes on as well. And listen, lots has come out since then. What else has happened? Two exploratory offers, apparently. 2 exploratory offers or expressions of interest in buying Tottenham Hotspur. One from Amanda Stavely and her group, another from some Chinese businessmen. Is it Firework Holdings, I believe I saw? At first, I thought that might have been a bit of a joke, but Firework Holdings maybe. Now, this morning, we're seeing that the PSG owners apparently, let's get some light in here, shall we? Apparently, the PSG owners bit too much. The PSG owners, according to some sources, are looking at Tottenham and saying, right, are we going to make a bid? Are we going to buy a stake in the company? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But what I do know is this. Is that if we are going to see change at Tottenham Hotspur, it's not going to be instant. It's not going to be instant. Everyone thinks it's going to be overnight. The proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating, as my mum used to say. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. We will find out in due course. Has things changed? Was Daniel Levy the devil that he was made out to be? Was Daniel Levy a pawn in the game of chess that was being run by Joe Lewis and the Lewis children? I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of you won't know. But it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because what if Daniel Levy was just doing what he was told to do? What if the directive from Lewis and the board was to run the club exactly how he was told to run it? What if, I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. We're going to find out, because if that's the case, has Daniel Levy been thrown under a bus? Has he not? Lots and lots of different questions that can be asked. For example, if the board have told him, you can't go higher than this wage cap, we don't want to spend X amount of transfer fee on a player, is it Daniel Levy's fault? Now, other people will come back and say, well, Daniel Levy was the way he was in negotiations. It's why other clubs didn't want to deal with Tottenham. Fair enough. Completely get it. Completely understand. So time is going to tell. We're going to get into this in a little bit more detail. And then if that wasn't enough, I'm sitting there the other day. I literally thought, I've got like 1.5 days of my holiday left. And God, I want a haircut so much, by the way. I hate. Oh, anyway, I'm just seeing it in the screen. I just need a haircut and I need my beard sorted out. And tomorrow, that is tomorrow's day. And then Ange Postecoglou, who left Tottenham, 3 months ago, is now the manager of Nottingham Forest. And of course, I was on to Wolfie like that. Of course, I've been having lots of conversation with Wolfie the last 2 days about that. A big up to Wolfie as well. We got interviewed by Fox Sports Australia. Had an interview with their sports team there about Ange Postecoglou joining Forest. All of the backroom staff that just left Spurs have gone as well. So you had Jedinak, Birch, Montgomery, Ramondo. Is it Ramondo? I might be getting that name wrong as well. They've all gone with Big Ange, haven't they, to Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest with a new era starting tomorrow at the Emirates. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Game one for Big Ange Postecoglou. And of course, that was massive breaking news. Other than that, nothing's happened since I've been away. So we'll see. What Wolfie did tell me was the number of new subscribers he got from Australians. And I said, yeah, that will happen. Yeah, a lot of the people that hated me, that watched me, now don't watch me, or certainly don't comment anymore now that Daniel Levy is gone. So before we start the show, big up to each and every one of you. Listen, first live show for 11 days, and we've managed 82 likes, which is absolutely dogs, isn't it? It's absolutely dogs. So please do smash that like button. We've got Lubo coming on in a bit. We'll see who else pops their face in at some stage. And we'll take it from there. But thank you very much. Lots of nice messages, lots of horrible messages, but lots of nice messages while I was away as well. As I said, if you want an OK jersey, here we go. Here they are. You can see across the scrolling bar, OK jersey. Just go to okjersey.com or copy or scan, should I say, that QR code. That will take you straight there. By the way, Sean Butler, if you're watching, have you seen the breaking news? Chelsea to face 74 charges of breaching FA rules. That is scrolling across the the Sky Sports news banner right now. Chelsea to face 74 charges of breaching FA rules in relation to agents, intermediaries, and third-party investment in players. So that is what's going on there. That is what's going on there. So Chelsea could be in trouble. Charges relate primarily to events which occurred between 2010 and 11 and 2015-16. And Chelsea have until September the 19th to respond. So, yeah, so when you're looking there, you're looking at charges relating to, God, over a decade ago. But charges are charges. Let's get to some hellos, shall we? Felt weird this morning waking up. Stanley licking me. That was nice. Stanley licking my eye. I was like, oh, thanks, Stanley. That's lovely. Missed you too. Big up to each and every one of you. Let's start by doing this, shall we? Smash the like button if you haven't already. And let's take it from there. Let's have a look at the super chats. Big up to Emma Morton. How you doing, Emma? Nice to see you, my friend. Emma saying, morning, Savva. Glad to see you back. Listen, glad to be back as well. Thank you very much. Really, really do appreciate you. Thank you, Emma, up there on T side. Thank you very much. Very generous as always. You've picked up where you left off. Thank you very much. Winston, been a member for 2 months. We'll have a members only show as well. It'll be beginning of next week now. Too much to cram in today and tomorrow. It just says, well, big up, Savva. Welcome back, brother. Listen, thank you very much. Really, really do appreciate that. Also, across the space of 11 days, we lost 11 subs. No live shows. I get it. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. The link is in the chat. Please smash that button. Let's get back to where we were. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And Rick Kane, big up to my man, Russell Coit, said, loved your holiday contributions. You really set the cat amongst the pigeons at times, and it was most enjoyable. Glad to have you back. Thank you very much, Rick. I really appreciate that. Do you know what I find funny, Rick, is the number of grown-ups on YouTube, right, who don't understand between a question and a statement. So if I ask a question like, was Daniel Levy thrown under a bus? People go, you flip-flop. I already asked a question. It makes me laugh. Say, I can't blame Daniel Levy for 100% of things. Oh, you've changed. You flip-flop. Well, how fucking childish is the world? You can't say anything now. You flip-flop. About what? What did I flip-flop about? Ask the question. I asked the question, did Spurs make a fumble by not buying a left winger? Oh, you hate the window. You're so negative. What? Oh, gosh, you got to love YouTube. Big up to you, Rick. Thank you very much. It's good to be back. And you lot, smash the like button. Smash that subscribe button. Come on. We haven't had a single subscriber all morning. And we've only had, it's been really poor from you lot so far. Only 113 likes. Smash that button. And obviously, there's a poll. So, should I go on holiday more often? Yes, no, or it always happens when you go away. Something always happens when I go away. So, if anyone wants to start a GoFundMe page, if anyone wants to start a GoFundMe page to send me and the wife away every month, I'll happily take it. Good morning to Ben Williams. Good morning, Savva. We're so getting a full takeover on your next holiday. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, won't we? Is there a takeover coming? The noise from Vinay, from the owners, is that there will be no sale. However, if you're going to sell, you're not going to sit there, are you, and say, yeah, full-on sale happening. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Big up, Lynn. Absolutely said you're not going to see if anything has changed until the end of the season and beyond. Completely agree. I think it's going to take time. You know, what we can't see is one good window. We can't see one good window and then everyone goes, oh my God, there you go. It's different. It's changed. Everything's amazing. We're great. We're back. I need somebody to tell me what this means. I've asked Lubo for 10 days or since Levy went. I've asked him so many times, what does we've got a Tottenham back mean? And I can't get an answer from him. I can't get an answer from anyone what it actually means. Right now in the chat, it's 11:20 exactly in the UK. Let me know. What does it mean? First of all, are you somebody that subscribes to We've Got Our Tottenham Back? And if you are, what does it mean? What does it mean to you? We've got our Tottenham back. Just interested to know. Yes, my jersey from okjersey.com. I've got some lovely ones. Got the new black kit. I've got a grey one. I've got a really funky white training top. I've got a greyish one, a bluish one. I got my mate a Liverpool top. It's lovely, actually. It's really nice, good quality. So yeah, big up to you. And if you want that, just scan the QR code up there. Where is it? Up there. Oh no, I can't get my finger right there. Up there. And just type in the code Savva as per the banner at the bottom. Good morning to Shem Tan. Said, morning, Savva. Loving the tan, mate. Go back on holiday December the 31st. We need all the help we can get. Shem, big up to you. Thank you. Yeah, the tan. Let's see. It looks better when there's less light. But yeah, it's very tanned this time. Very tanned. Yeah, look, got the tan going on. Big up to you. The future's bright. Future's lily white. Said, I've missed you, man. Missed you too. Sav, I hope you had a great holiday, but please don't go away again soon. Yeah, listen, I had a lovely holiday. Thank you very much. Myself and the wife, very rested. Very rested, chilled out. Not a lot of drink, just chilled. It was absolutely beautiful, apart from breaking Tottenham news, should we say. Big up to my man Terry. He said, I agree that budgets will have been agreed with Enoch, but they wouldn't have told him which crap players to sign because he tried to preach to us. But not even he got involved until the negotiations. Sure. And again, this is what we're going to love about dissecting this, breaking this down over the next few months or whatever. There's always two ways to skin a cat, and everyone's going to believe what they want to believe. I just don't know what's going on at the moment. Where is Levy? He's been very quiet. Is he lawyering up? As Simon Jordan said, is he not? Who knows? Where are we? Big up to my man, Tottenham Trev's Football Talk. Big up to you. Saying Wolfie's a hypocrite. Listen, listen, he had a nice interview. I don't know what he was had to say, but it is what it is. I'll be live with later twice with Wolfie later, actually, I think. Big up to Robbo Ranks. Big up to you, my man. Hope you're well. Yeah, just to say I did. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Whatever your beliefs, political or not, whatever, nobody should have that happen. I landed last night. I think we landed at about 1:30 in the morning and turned it on, and it was just everywhere on the news. So yeah, rest in peace, and thoughts with his family. Just absolutely disgusting. Big up to John. Thank you very much, my man. Hope you're well. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Good morning. Morning. Can I lick your eye? Lee, you can lick my eye anytime you want. Sure, why not? Honestly, Stanley this morning was so happy to see us. You can't imagine. Where are we? There's loads of comments. Emma, whereabouts did you go in Turkey? I went to Izmir, Izmir, to a very quiet part of Turkey, and it was absolutely stunning. And the weather was ridiculous. The weather was ridiculous. Where are we? There at the Arsenal training ground. That's where they are on Sky Sports. Spurs King said the Spurs 5 rebound suggestion, the flip-flop 5 or the Spurs flip-flops. I don't understand what I meant to have flip-flopped about. I've not once said I didn't want Levy to leave. I just think sometimes when you're having some football conversation, I think you've got to throw a little bit of balance in there. And I think if there isn't, then football conversation becomes very difficult. And a lot of the panel shows I go on, there's no balance. Everyone's just like, oh, God, your team's shit. And you're like, oh, good conversation. What about this? So it is what it is. It's what people do. Jack Bain said, why were you gone so long? Don't you care about your channel? Oh, Jack, he's still trolling. Oh, Jack, why didn't your parents love you, Jack? Oh, have a cuddle, Jack. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very much. As Lee said, okjersey.com. Use the code Savva for 8% off. Yes, yeah, Ben. No holidays allowed if you have a YouTube channel. No holidays allowed at all. No, there's no number on the back of my shirt. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Big up to my man, Jack. How you doing, bro? Never go away, Savva. I know. Naughty me. Naughty me. Never, ever go away. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you what was funny. I'll tell you what was funny. You go away and you think, oh, it'll be nice. There'll be no trolls for 10, 11 days. The trolls, they find you. They say stuff. It's all good. How you doing, man? Big up to Dan. Said, Savva, are you excited to see Simons play on Saturday? Do you think he starts? Listen, I'm very excited to play. I want to see some flair. I want to see some creativity. Will he start? I genuinely don't know. I hope so. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know if he does start, but I'd like to see him start. Big up to my man, Elijah. How you doing, E? Hope you're well, my friend. Said, Savva got the same complexion as a Dorito. Hope the holiday was well. A Dorito? I don't know. I got some color. You can't really see it in this light, but if you stand me next to a pale white person, I'm very brown. Trust me. Big up to you. Big up to Carlson inside the house. Yeah, I saw this yesterday as well. I'm going to get into this in more detail tonight with Sean. He's a lot more clued up on these sort of things than I am. Borrowing 90 million doesn't strike me as the type of thing you do if you're getting huge investment or minority partner or a naming rights deal. Not in the near future. Well, let's see. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Are we being sold? Are we not? Part of me thinks no, because of the club statements. But again, as I said earlier, if you're going to sell the club, do you announce you're selling the club? Like, I'm not sure you do. I'm not sure you announce you're selling the club if you're going to. I don't think that's good for business, is it? I don't think that's really good for a sale price. So we're going to see lots of speculation is going to be every day on TalkSport at the moment. There's conversations with Simon Jordan and Stefan Borson and all these different experts in finance and the world of business talking about our Spurs for sale, what will it cost, etc., etc., etc. Who knows? Big up to Dan. Said I was in Dubai last week, 42 degrees. It'd be cooler sitting in my oven. Oh my God. Yeah, there were days like that in Turkey where it was, very hot, like too hot. But I stuck to the cause. I sit out in it and I try and get some sun. Yeah, all right, James. Do you want to see the white bits? Big up to you, James. How you doing, my man? James Flower inside the house. Elijah trying to wind me up. Perchy was getting good view. Yeah, big up to Perchy. Thank you, Perchy, for looking after the channel for a couple of shows whilst I was away. Really appreciate that. Billy, so do you believe anything in what the Lewis family are saying? Look, as I just said, if Spurs were thinking of selling, I don't believe that Vinay Venkatesham or the Lewis family are going to come out and say, yes, we are for sale. I believe that anything has a price, whether that's a footballer, whether that's a football club, whether that's someone selling their house. I believe that anything has a price. I've said this all along. I've never, contrary to the beliefs that I've flip-flopped, I've never moved away from what I'm about to say next. I've said the whole way along. First of all, I've said that you guys are really tight with the likes and the subscribers, which is true. But I've said this all along. I think they will sell when a magic number is hit. I've said that all along. I feel that they'll have an exit plan. I feel that that exit plan might mean X number, whether that's 3.5 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion. I don't know. That's only my personal belief. I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything. I believe that if somebody came in right now and offered 4 billion for Tottenham Hotspur for a full takeover, I think that the Lewis family might accept that. I don't know that. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. JB has said, surely the regulations mean you can say no, we aren't selling, and then sell. Isn't that market manipulation? Well, no. Why do you have to declare that you're selling anything? You've got to remember, and Stefan Borson said this, right? And let me get this. He said, Spurs aren't for sale isn't the same as Spurs won't be sold. And I think that's really, really, important to decipher the difference. Spurs not being for sale is very different. Yeah, by the way, Scott, I would as well. Yeah, if you are a medium order or a large, if you're a small order or a medium, yes, I would say that. Absolutely. For the shirts. Yes, go a size up. So order a size up at okjersey.com, smash the QR code, or just go onto the website, and the bar at the bottom will tell you the code, the price, and you'll get 8% off using the code. So yeah, I think that it's very interesting when we look at the Spurs takeover situation. At the moment, there is no takeover situation, right? Will Tottenham Hotspur be sold? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Oh, hang on. Is that? No, there we go. I genuinely don't know if we're going to be sold. But what I would say is this. If somebody comes in with a serious offer of 4 billion, I truly believe that there'll be a lot of deep conversations as to whether or not they're going to be sold or not. I could be completely wrong. I could be absolutely completely wrong with that. But yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, Daniel Levy, look, when the news broke, I mean, I was actually eating dinner, and my phone was in my pocket. I just finished eating. I think I just had a couple of profiteroles or something. I can't remember. I looked at my phone. I said to my wife, "Oh my God, my phone is blowing up. Like 30, 40 people have WhatsApped me, missed phone calls." And then I thought someone had died. And then obviously see that Daniel Levy has stepped down. Was he stepped down? Was he pushed? And then you've got protesters taking credit for it. Change for Tottenham are taking credit for it. And you've got, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. I've got my beliefs in all of this. I don't know. You know, I said at the beginning of the summer, something felt weird. That's why I felt they'd not sacked Ange, because I felt like there might have been something happening this summer. And then when you look at it, the only person that has survived this summer is Johan Lang. If you look at it, Ange and his backroom staff have all gone. Donna Cullen and Levy have gone. I think they're the only ones that have survived this coal. Haven't we changed medical team as well? All that kind of stuff. So it's been a very strange summer at Tottenham. People losing their mind at transfer windows in which we didn't do, in my opinion, what we needed to do. So there's a lot of talking points. I don't, listen, what I don't like to do is when I talk on these matters, I like to give my opinion. I can only give my opinion. I don't believe that I know anything different to anybody else. I don't like it. What I don't like it is when people pass things off as fact. This happens. Like, well, do we know that? This protest worked. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that it didn't. We don't know that it did. I don't know. Lewis is definitely selling. Well, we don't know that. And I've heard that Lang this and Paratici that, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Listen, is it an exciting time to be a Tottenham fan? Sure, it could be. But surely the excitement is only in the information we're given further down the line. Am I wrong? I don't know. Like, as I said, I keep having this debate with Lubo about we've got our Tottenham back. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's more just sheer hate for Daniel Levy leaving, that we think everything is automatically better. Is it words that so far we're hearing that the club are going to be run differently, that we want to compete? We've heard these words before, haven't we? And for me, a lot of this is going to be the next transfer windows. Not one, not two. Let's see in each transfer window, are Spurs going to move big? Are Spurs going to? I mean, I don't expect every signing to be this super duper amazing world class player, but are Spurs going to start acting like a club that wants to be at the top table of football? If they do start doing that now, have the Lewis family released the grip on the reins to allow Charrington and Vinay to have more control over budget and over quality versus quantity? I don't know. Oh God, I just slipped. I put my elbow on the thing and fell off. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Are the Lewis kids? I hate calling them that, by the way. I mean, they're not kids, are they? Are Lewis's children going to operate differently now? How long have they had the reins? Why move differently now? Why operate differently now? Is that fair on Levy? What does that mean for the new chairman? There's so many questions about what is happening at Tottenham Hotspur. You know what? What we do know is there was a transfer window. And what we do know is that for me, I don't think we moved well enough in this window. And I know everyone's losing their minds. Listen, I don't think it was a bad window. I think it was a good window. But I don't think we did enough. And I think, again, that showed, well, who is in charge? Who was in charge of this window? Was it Levy? You're hearing so many reports. You know, when something went wrong, it was Levy. When something went right, it was Vinay. You know, why didn't we get in the left winger we desperately needed? Why? Why didn't we buy another centre-half if that's desperately what Thomas Frank wanted? Why were 2 of the 4 senior players we bought in loans? None of the big boys were doing loan deals. Why did we do loan deals? So all of these different questions that you bring around to, what does that mean? Are they cutting back on putting money in because they're selling? Were they cutting back on putting money in because they knew there was going to be an announcement of Daniel Levy stepping down? Did they wait until after the transfer window because they might have known it might have driven prices up for Tottenham in the I don't know the answers to any of this. I don't know the answers to any of this. I'm just asking you. And for anyone who watches me daily, I think you'll know that what I like to do, I like to ask a lot of questions, and people misconstrue that as always being my opinion. And that's what I do find funny. Somebody sent me an extract yesterday. Somebody had put a clip. One of the shorts I'd done, they put it onto X. And it was a conversation with me talking about not buying a left winger. It was like 36 seconds. And the person's only seen that 36-second clip. And what they've done is they've then turned around and said, see, Savva despised the transfer window. And you know, when you think this is the worry now, is that people can say what they want. And all the comments come flooding in from all these people on X. Yeah, he's a twat. He's a wanker. He's the, you know, you're sitting there going, hang on, you've taken a 36-second clip of me talking about the left winger situation and passed that off as my entire opinion. And unfortunately, when you're in the YouTube world, I guess these people in the world of social media, whenever anybody gives an interview, whether they're a famous person or a pundit or whatever it may be, this is what happens. Your whole opinion gets put into a 30-second soundbite. So my opinion is this, but they put it into that. And then the abuse starts. Madness. Terry said, calling them the Lewis family just plays into their PR. They're Enoch. Nothing has changed except the branding. Don't be fooled. But listen, I'm not being fooled by anything. Listen, as I said, Terry, there were a lot of people, more so the people that were so Levy out that it was like they were Levy out more than Tottenham, seemed to be running with a narrative that something is very different. And all I've said, Terry, and I think this is fair of me, is I'll wait and see for it to be different. I don't think this is the all singing, all dancing, yay, Levy's gone, party time, we're going to do X, Y. I don't know. I don't know. You've got Daniel Levy, who still owns 30% of ENIC or 28% of ENIC. ENIC owns Tottenham. What's happening there? Why has he gone so quiet? Is he getting a lawyer? I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. James T's in here being weird. So Chelsea only 74 charges, and we are still here talking about Levy. You do know we're not Chelsea fans, right? You do know we're not Chelsea fans, James. I'm not sure. Not sure that's escaped you. We got to Philly. So I feel Spurs are short of fullback, wingback. Ideally, team needs 4, not 3.5 in Ben 11. Look, I listen. I think there was a lot they should have done. I think there was a lot they should have done that didn't. And what I found really funny was being on YouTube every day. You see people's opinions and you see how they change. So loads of people that I saw going, we need this, this, and this before the window shuts. Then when we didn't get it, they all started going, difficult to do business in summer. Don't worry, we'll wait till January. We've got what we need. Hang on. None of you were saying this. Then in January, and I've seen this already, like Carlson, I think our squad is fine until Jan. Hopefully we get 1 to 3 signings that strengthen our squad. And then I love this. I love that Daniel was called that out. I'm going to be honest. I love this. Sorry, that Ash. Big up, Ash. Said, yeah, then the Jan excuses start saying it's difficult and it has to be exactly. This is it, Ash. For all the people going, oh, you know what? I don't think we did the deal because I think we'll go back in for Savio in January. Right? So what? You imagine you applied that, Ash, every summer. Imagine we applied that every single summer. Every single summer. Imagine you went, yeah, well, we couldn't get the left winger. We'll wait till January. Couldn't get the centre half. Wait till January. Why could every other club get what they needed? Why is it that we have to wait? Big up Luke said the Lewis family are smart. They just bought themselves a year of grace getting rid of Levy, even though he worked under their remit and requirements. Possibly. Quite possibly. Luke, quite possibly, mate. And this is the difference. This is the difference, right? We don't know, but this could very well be the case. And this, I said this, Luke, the other day when I was on a stream. This will all depend on which side of the fence you sit on. If you were so Levy out that it consumed you, then this won't be true, will it? Does that make sense? If you were so Levy out that it consumed you, this won't be true because it will just be the best news in the world. Right? If you weren't so Levy out that consumed you, you'll probably lean a little bit more heavily into this theory. And for me, we're going to find out what the answer was, won't we? We'll find out in due course. The best window in 25 years, maybe longer. Based on what? We only signed 2 first-team starters. Well, based on what? 2 signings and 2 loans. I think we've got to be really careful here. Unfortunately, I think what's happened is I think we've been so starved of acting like a normal club. We've been so starved of acting like a normal club that when Spurs have a decent window, people lose their mind. Like, people are losing their mind over a loan signing which was made as desperation on the last day of the window. Right? Let's be fair. Simmons, who was made as desperation because James Maddison got injured. Right? For me, what would have been a top window, like people are saying, the best window in 25 years, where's the Son replacement? Why didn't we buy it? Why did we lose Son, one of our best players for a decade, and not replace him? If you're going to loan Paulinho to kick the can down the road, why wasn't that money spent elsewhere? I don't think people think this through. I think they just look at the 4 names and go, oh my God. I think we went cheap. I think we went cheap this window. Doesn't mean it wasn't good. But before I'm going to throw around superlatives like amazing and brilliant and the best window, I don't think we did what we needed to do. Why can't we? There we go. There's my question. Let's get into it. I'm back. Let's get into it. Why? Why can't you replace every out? How many outs did we have this window that needed to be replaced? 1. How many weren't replaced? 1. Why? We did not replace the one first team signing that went. So, Chris, when you keep saying this, I see you in my chat all the time saying this, right? Spurs lost one first teamer. You think about it. We've let go of Son, Keeley, who wasn't in the squad, Hill, who wasn't in the squad, and Solomon, who wasn't in the squad. So of the 4 players that went, if I'm not wrong, right, of the 4 players that went, the only first team player that went was Son, and he wasn't replaced. So when people like Chris come out with this it's copium. It's copium. Can't do everything in one window. Sure, but don't you surely replace the first team player that left? Don't you do that as a matter of course? Don't you bring in that left-sided player? You had the whole summer to do it. Can't do everything. Well, why not? Yeah, but Chris, why didn't we replace some? Why didn't we replace some? Whatever happens with the board, whatever happens with the manager and the coaching staff, you've got to remember this is a football team. We need to worry about on the pitch. For me, I think that's going to come back to bite us. For me, I think what happens is, and I'm seeing it already. People start the copium. Well, don't worry, Johnson can play there. Can he? Don't worry, Tell will get better. Will he? Don't worry, Odeberg can play there. Other clubs have got Arsenal. What did Arsenal need? Midfielders got it. Striker got it. Playmaker got it. New centre-halves got 2. Second goalkeeper got it. Like they just went and got what they needed. No excuses. No fans with copium. Look, I'm not saying it was a bad window. I think people will take this out of kilter. But if you are going to lose one of your best 2 players of the last decade, you've got to replace them. Oh, James, I'm just back from holiday. I will block you if you keep doing this. Swept under the rug again, your opinion. Guess nobody else can have an opinion. What do you mean? Everyone's having an opinion. I'm reading them out. And if this is just a Spurs channel, where have Wolfie on? James, right, one more and you're gone because you're acting, mate. Listen, I'm just back from holiday. I'm bringing up all my chats, comments, and talking, and you're being a troll. One more and you're gone for good. Please stop. I'm disagreeing with Chris's opinion. I've not been rude about him. I've not said anything bad. I'm disagreeing with his opinion. Isn't that what you want? You want some debate. Don't you want some football chat? So please stop. Please stop or you will be banned. Okay? I mentioned the Chelsea talking point. But I can't just talk about just what you want. I've got to cater for all right? Look, I don't think it was a bad window. I think it was a good window. I do feel that the Mawani signing was very much panic because Solanke went down. I would like to have known, would we have got Mawani on the last day if Solanke hadn't got injured? I would like to know, would we have got Xavi Simons? And I don't know the answer to these questions. I'm just asking. For me, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think we did anywhere near enough in getting rid of people. For me, re-signing Ben Davis was a black mark. For me, not letting go of Basuma, I think was a black mark. I think we still needed another midfielder. I think we needed a left winger. I think we needed a centre half or a left back or someone that could play both. I think it was good. I think it was a good window. I just think that everyone's going way over the top. Way over the top. Hang on, no one's put expletives your way. Please don't lie. You'll be blocked as well, guys. Can we calm down a bit? Can we just calm down a bit, people? Big up Price said that left wing is a serious issue. Mate, I genuinely cannot understand how we did not replace Son. I imagine Arsenal lose Saka next summer. Are they not replacing him? I genuinely don't get it. But what our fans do is they find excuses. Oh, you can't do everything in one window. No one's asking to do everything. Where was the left winger? We all knew we needed a left winger. We all knew Son was going. Where's the left winger? Where is the left winger? How did you not replace Son? How? Terry, mate, this is my belief as well. I completely agree with you. I don't think, listen, Mawani until the last day of the window, Terry, Mawani was joining Juve, and then that deal fell apart, right, with about 48 hours to go, and then Spurs swooped in. Now, I've got nothing wrong with Spurs swooping in, but my question is this. Until a week of the window to go, the only signings were Paulinho on loan and Kudus. So when people are going, oh my God, this is a great window, I don't think it was planned. I don't think it was great. I think it was good. For me, not enough outgoings. For me, not enough incomings. And I keep looking at that left side. Like, let me do the lineup builder. Should we do the lineup builder? Here we go. I'll do the lineup builder with you lot. Bear in mind, sorry, everything on my computer reset when I was away. So let's share this screen. Let's get rid of that. Before we do that, actually, let me just say big up to Aussie Frank Lover. So welcome back, Savva. We missed you. Thank you very much. I missed you lot too. It's always good fun. Always good fun being on YouTube. Much love to you. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Big up to Dean Law with the super sticker. Really appreciate you, Dean. Thank you very much. That is very generous indeed of you. Thank you. David Tanswell has become a YouTube member. Big up to you, David. There'll be a channel member only show next week. So look out for that one. And also, where are we? Oh, your likes and subscribes today have been awful. 200 likes. 200 likes and only 4 subscribers. Come on, people. Drive that the other way, please. Big up to David Tanswell and to JB, who have both become YouTube members. Look out for the channel member-only shows next week, guys. Next week, there'll be a channel member-only shows. So thank you very much to that. And big up to Dean. Thank you very much to you as well. Really appreciate that. Let's get rid of that comment and let's have a look at this, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to go with this, right? I think we're going to look at Vicario, right? Vicario. I'm going to put Spence in because I think he's much better than Udogie. Oh, no, I nearly spelled that right. Well, it came up anyway. What's that? Mickey. Be Mickey Van der Ven, wouldn't it? So Mickey, Romero. That'll be Porro. That'll be Paulinho. That'll be Bentancur, roughly. Let's go. And so this will be Kudus. Let's go with Simmons. Let's go with Mawani. Right. See, now that looks nice, doesn't it? As an 11, I think that looks nice. Now, you'll notice I've left the left-sided player blank. Because for me, surely to complete an 11, we had one more signing to make. I know it's a squad game. Not saying it's not. But surely, when people are going, hang on, is or isn't? Surely, that one signing that could have been made, Now, I'm looking at that, and I'm genuinely in the position of, if you said to me, who do I prefer at left wing? I genuinely don't know from this Tottenham squad right now who I would want taking that position. Now, there might be people in the chat thinking, hang on, it might be Mawani on the left. You might have Richie up front. Maybe Richie goes to the left. Maybe it's Odegaard. Maybe it's Johnson. Maybe it's Tell. But for me, why couldn't we get that done? Why couldn't we get that one position done to make a really good 11? Why did we have to skimp on that? Why did we have to skimp and save on that left-sided player? And then people will go, oh, well, you know, if you can't get the player you want in the summer, wait till January. When has that ever worked for anyone? When has that ever worked for anyone? So for me, that's why I don't, when people go, the best window ever, well, we didn't even, this was the one position. This was, I mean, let's see. I don't know if he's still available. I don't know if we can still add some. No, this was the one position where we lost. Yeah, we lost Maddison to injury, but we didn't lose anyone there. We didn't lose anyone here. We didn't lose anyone here. We've lost somebody there, and it's the one position on the pitch that we didn't replace. So it just makes me feel a little bit like, let's put in, I mean, I don't know, is this guy the best of a bad bunch to play on the left? Is Richarlison playing off the left? I don't know. Is he the best of a bad bunch? Brennan Johnson for his output? Tell, Odegaard? I genuinely don't have a preference as to who plays on the left now. I think that they're all a little bit weak. I think it's really poor. If Savio was your guy, we're hearing that he wasn't gettable, but then we went for Malik Fofana apparently on the last day of the window, but waited so long to bid for Malik Fofana. Big up, Lubo.
Morning.
Morning, you all right?
Yeah, good, you?
Good. Look, I got my replica Spurs jersey on.
Looking good, looking good. You must have had a nice rest. Nothing much to talk about while you're away.
Oh, mate.
Good time to go, wasn't it?
Mate, do you know what? You know me, mate. I make friends wherever I go, right? So I made friends with loads of different people out there. And anytime I went to get a beer or a drink or whatever, someone go, you heard the news, you heard the news, you heard the... I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I've heard the news. And then I'd come back to my phone and I've got Levy and Enoch and, you know, this morning I'm waking up to the PSG owner.
Yeah.
Apparently. Anyway, how you been, Lubo? This must have been a lovely 10 days for you. We've got our Tottenham back, so you keep telling me.
Well, it's funny. We got our Tottenham back. It's subjective, isn't it? It could mean football's heritage is back on our screens, couldn't it? That could be, you know what I mean? For some people, that is we got our Tottenham back.
Can I just set the story straight? Mooney, I've never said I hate Odegaard. I don't think he's ready for Tottenham. I don't think he's Champions League level. Doesn't mean I hate him. I think we need to distinguish between this word, people. If I don't think a footballer's quite good enough, I don't hate them. It's just not personal. I don't hate them. Lubo, I was just saying this. I was talking about the window. Bear in mind, I've got a lot to say because I've not been live really properly for a long time. And I said that for me, this is probably, in my opinion, our best 11. And the one question mark for me, as you know, we talk every day on WhatsApp, is the left side. The left side for me is the one question mark. Will it be Udogie? Will it be Spence? Will it be Richarlison? Will it be Odegaard? Will it be Tell? Will it be Johnson? Do you agree with me on that front? And how did you feel that we didn't get? Bearing in mind, Sonny's the only first team player that left. If we're going to be brutally honest, Sonny is the only first 11 player that left and the only position not to be replaced. So what do you make of that whole left side?
I think Spence has made that position his own for the moment. That's without doubt. And I think Richie will end up on the left because I think he will also, for his work rate, he will give Spence protection, which doesn't really do. Did against City. Played well. Johnson's defensively against City. I think they all played well. But I think Richie did a good job on the left, particularly in Bilbao. I thought it was superb. The covering, the tracking, the work rates. There wasn't much in terms of creativity from the entire team in Bilbao, was there? We had one shot on target the whole game.
Yeah.
But
it was a decent shot on target, though, wasn't it?
Wasn't bad, wasn't it?
But isn't that the worry? Like I tend to agree with you on this, and you know me, I've talked about this left wing position for months. My big thing in this window was playmaker, left wing, playmaker, left wing. I agree with you. I think Richarlison will do all of the dirty side of the game of football. I think he'll do all of that. But isn't the worry that without the more glamorous side of the left-sided game, will there be many right-backs that go in facing Spurs thinking we've got a real problem here? Because my worry, I've said to you all summer, I feel that what they'll do is even now, without proper left wingers, I think what they're going to do is they're going to leave one-on-one on that side and double up on Kudus on the other.
Maybe. I think what's going to be interesting for me is how Frank develops the kids, how he develops Odegaard. I think we've seen from the Champions League decision that Tell is down the pecking order. So I think Odegaard, I think he will try and develop. And at the same time, I think Boval and Gray as well. I think it'll be interesting to see where he takes these three kids over the next 9 months to the end of the season and where they are at the end of May. I think he'll bring Odegaard on as a sub, as an impact sub. Listen, he's got options. And when Kulu's back, he can switch Simmons over to the left. So, he will have options from Christmas onwards. I think it's just getting through to Christmas now. We'll see. It's interesting.
See, for me, it just takes that. This is just my opinion. Anything I say on this show, guys, on this channel is my opinion. I just think it just takes a little bit of shine away from what I think looks. When I look at this, I actually think it's just a good 11. Apart from that left-hand side, I just feel like a Lookman, a Savio, a Fofana, something. It would have given real dynamism, balance. And I just worry whether or not Kudus is going to be the what's the opposite to the beneficiary. I don't know whether he's going to be the guy that takes the brunt of that because they're going to double up on him. No, but you could also play Simmons in the 11, Kudus in the 10, and Odegaard on the right. You could do. Yeah. Or Johnson on the right. You could, although to be honest with you, Johnson in front of Porro leaves us a bit short down that right defensively. Well, I mean, Kulu kind of changes the game, doesn't he? Because he can. I don't particularly like him floating from the right. I don't feel that that's the best place for him. We know he can play in the middle. We've never seen him really play on the left, but I don't see why he couldn't do a job out there on the left if we're shoehorning Richarlison in there or Johnson in there.
No, but the other way of playing it you could do, which Frank has not shown any inclination to do so far, is you play Udogie left back, you play Spence right back, and you push Porro forward. Which again is another option that he's never tried. I'd love to see it because I think Porro's much better going forward than he is defending, and I think we saw that against Bournemouth.
No, of course. It's going to be interesting to see. Look, I mean, there is people do put forward the argument that Kolo Muani can play there, but if you actually go and have a look at his career, he's played there a little bit, but he's a striker. For me, what I wouldn't want, if I'm honest, I don't want to bring in a striker, plays up front for France and has done for PSG and stuff. I don't want to shoehorn him on the left wing. What do you make of Muani? Where do you see him fitting in?
Well, it's interesting because you've got three centre forwards now, in effect, and no established left winger. So it's a bit unbalanced, isn't it? So one of those centre forwards you're looking at the moment to play on the left. Solanke, I was reading on Football London with Ali Gold this morning. It's a question whether Solanke may even be in the squad tomorrow. So
what he could be.
Yes, he could be in the squad tomorrow. So, the Spurs haven't actually come out and confirmed what his injury was, and how long he'll be out for. There's been silence from the club. It's been pure speculation. I've been reading that he could be out for 2 or 3 months. So let's see what.
Yeah, that's true. We heard it on deadline day, didn't we? Like the rumor circulated a lot on deadline day. And then since then, I've not seen anything that says, we can confirm Solanke's out injured. But just quickly, I just want to show you this, sticking on this conversation, because this is Mwani's career. Don't know if you can see down there on the right-hand side where it says played as. So you can see that he's played 165 games as a centre forward, 22 as a right winger, and only 12 as a left winger. Now, I'm not going to put my neck on the line, Lubo, and say this is 100% accurate. I don't know. But it would suggest that he does play through the middle. So what do Spurs do then tomorrow if Richie is fit and Solanke's fit and Mwani's in the squad? What do you want to see? Not what Frank will do. What does Lubo want to see?
What I want to see, personally, I would like to see that 11 that you've just picked. With Bergvall instead of Bentancur. I'd like to see us become more aggressive and just play one holding midfield player rather than play a double pivot. Rather have Bergvall there, to be honest.
Even in away games.
Yeah, against West Ham, yes.
Okay. So let me put that back on the screen then. Let me. So you're talking about doing this. So we're talking about.
Keep the front three as it is. Keep Richie on the left, Kudus on the right, and Mwani. Solanke, if he is fit, will only be a sub anyway.
Yeah.
Because he needs a bit of game time. And I play Polinia with Bergvall, and you got your back four, and you've got obviously Vicario. So for me, that will be my team. I'd go for it.
What about Sarr then? Because Sarr is somebody that where I've always struggled with Sarr is I still don't know what he is. He's not a 10. I don't care what anyone says. He's not that creative guy as a 10. A box-to-box 8, would you say that Sarr is? And if so, why Bergvall over Sarr?
Because I'm
not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking.
I think he gives you something more going forward. And I just think tomorrow Spurs are going to come out. I've just got a good feeling about tomorrow. I really do. I think the whole club will be lifted with the new players coming in. Always happens in a dressing room. You see quality players come into a dressing room. It lifts the players. It lifts everybody. Everybody thinks, great, I've got to be on my game today. We've got some class boys in here now. And, I'll be disappointed if we don't come away with a win tomorrow. Saturday.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Me too. I don't know who's put that. Look, mate, I absolutely want us and expect us to beat West Ham tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting now because in that midfield area, I think we're all kind of talking as though Paulina's got that number 6. Would that be fair to say that?
You think so? Frank plays with a 6, and he's the only established 6 we've got at the moment. So yes, for me, in midfield, he's the first name that goes down.
So what about so in your formation? What about a bit more of a? Pardon me, we can just change this around. What about a bit more of a 4-1-2-3? Should we say? So maybe hang on, ignore who's where at the moment.
Yeah.
So a bit more like that when we've got the ball. A bit more like that. So Paulinho sitting, and then Simmons and Bergvall doing the. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. There's a lot of people are actually in the chat now, and they did before I went away as well. Says Sar's got to play. Sar's got to play. Does Sar got to play for you? I mean, for me, I think he does some good things. I don't feel like he's done anything that makes me go, you have to start every game. But then I get called harsh. So
listen, Sar's played well they were all pretty poor apart from Vicario and Mickey against Bournemouth. Yeah. And yes, Sar has played well. I think Bergvall gives you more in terms of Sar's good driving forward, but Bergvall's got more technical ability, and that's why I put him in instead of Sar. Bentancur, I see comments on here. Yes, it would give more stability. I'd rather have a situation where you've got Bentancur to come on, you've got Sar to come on. I don't see Basuma at the moment being near the squad, but he might surprise me, Frank. Yes, right. Bergvall isn't afraid to take a risk, and I think you need players who are going to drive at them. Yeah, there you go.
Can't all be great. Do you know what? Look, I'll throw the cat amongst the pigeons here. I've said to you for a long time, I really want a really good 8. I want a really good 8. I want one that's there, right? I feel that at the moment with Bentancur, Sar, Bergvall, I feel like we're kind of there. I don't particularly look at any of them and go, oh my God, you're so much better than him. I feel that a really good number 8 would really change this team. And I don't know whether or not that's why they were going tooth and nail for Morgan Gibbs-White, I don't know whether or not we're all going, oh, Morgan Gibbs-White was a 10. I don't know whether or not they were looking at Gibbs-White as the guy that gets on the ball in midfield, drives forward, connects the dots. I don't know, just a theory.
His performance on Tuesday was superb. Just superb.
Who's that?
Morgan Rogers for England.
No, I'm talking about Gibbs-White.
Gibbs-White.
Well, because obviously we went in for Gibbs-White.
Listen, I think you can just look at what you've got now. I think Bergvall's got a high ceiling, and I'd give him a run now. Personally, I'd give him a run. So, we hear about all the other clubs that bring these kids through and give their kids an opportunity. Now's the time. Now throw him in. You've got Polinia behind him. You've got an experienced. You've got an old head, someone who's very good at closing down the space. Picking players' pockets in matches, nicking the ball. I would play Bergvall next to Polinia. I think it'd be brilliant for him. I really do.
Yeah. So. I'll be interested to see what he does. It seems to me that he's very much started off with the Bergvall, the Bentancur Polinia double pivot, so to speak. I don't know whether or not that's because he's new to the club and wants to just make sure that we're quite strong in there to begin with. Be interesting to see. You've got Sar, Bergvall, Bentancur all fighting for one position, if that's the case. It's going to be interesting to see how he keeps them all happy. Basuma's not gone anywhere yet.
No.
If I'm not wrong, please tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't the Turkish window shut tomorrow?
I think it is, actually.
Am I wrong? Let me hang on.
When does the Turkish transfer? It's within a few days.
Yeah, it shuts tomorrow. So it'll be very interesting to see if Basuma stays, do you see any way back for him? Because the thing for me here is if Basuma stays, I don't actually think he's any worse than any of the players we mentioned. And that's again where I'm saying all the 8s for me are a bit of a muchness.
Depends if Frank sees his attitude's improved and he's there on time for every meeting, for every training session. He gives every training session 100%. Then Frank will relook at the situation. You can't afford not to. If you've got decent players in your squads, you've got to include them if they're doing the same as everybody else and they're being as professional as the rest of the squad. Then why not?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see. I fully expect him to go. Sorry, not tomorrow. Saturday. I fully expect the Basuma will go, but I do feel that, I said this earlier in the show, I do feel that we left ourselves slightly short, first on the left, and I do think we are short in midfield. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I just feel that we're one quality midfielder away. I really do. When I look at Arsenal with the likes of Declan Rice in, I mean, that's a real bit of quality for me, Declan Rice. When I look at Chelsea with Caicedo and Fernandes, I think they're just that level.
You've just mentioned three players that were bought for over £100 million.
No, sure. Hang on, I haven't finished yet. I haven't finished. Yeah. When I look at Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes, yeah, Tonali, they weren't over £100 million.
No,
yeah, City, Tajani Reinders wasn't over £100 million in midfield. I just feel like there's that, for me, that's only me. I just feel that we need that one. And I know it wasn't going to happen this window, but that's where I'm at with it.
Well, listen, if you look at it and you think to yourself, what do we need? Do we need 5 or 6 players? We've got 4. So it's not too bad. You look at the transfer window last year when we lost 4 established players and replaced them with 1. And this year we've lost 1 established player and replaced them with 4. So it's swung 100%. So for me, the window was okay. You're not going to sort it all out in one go. Frank will also, by seeing through the next, what are we talking about, 4 months of football, Frank will know where he wants to go in the transfer window in Jan. You know, there are players that he thinks are okay now after, you know, having seen them for the next 20, 25 games. He might think, I need an upgrade there. He's not as good as I thought he was. Or conversely, he's better than I thought he was. So maybe we don't need, we don't need to look there. So from what I'm hearing, they're looking for a left winger in January, and they're going to go back to Savva, depending on whether he is getting minutes or not. If he's not, they'll go back in, and failing that, they'll relook, and I'm sure they'll have a list of other left wingers. And I do think January will be busy, because players who aren't playing, who want to get into the international squads for the World Cup, will jump at the chance of first team football. And that's where Spurs could score with some very good short-term loans, and then go back in June, July, and buy the players we want to buy for Frank's long-term plan. So it's interesting at the moment.
I mean, well, I think one thing that we need to take into account as well is we are playing Tuesday night, right? Against Villarreal. If I got my days right, I have got my days right this time, haven't I? Yet it is Tuesday night. The fact that we're playing Tuesday night means that there's going to be some rotation. I don't believe that he's going to play the same 11 in both games. So it'll be interesting to see who does he think's needed more for the home game versus an away game. Who's needed more for Europe versus the Premier League. I think this is going to be interesting because he's not had to do this before. That's one of the things people threw at Thomas Frank. He's not had to do 2 games a week before. So how do you think
he has with the League Cup, hasn't he? Or Carabao Cup.
But it's very different for the Champions League, isn't it?
I think Frank will rise to the job. I think to the challenge. Sure. As I've said before, so I was at a Trust podcast night last night. And we were talking afterwards, and somebody was saying to me, I'm not sure about Frank. And I said, look, some managers are very good, don't get the opportunity. Other managers do well within their own area, their own space at that club, relative to the backing that club can give them. And you saw what Frank did at Brentford, and people just need an opportunity. Eddie Howe was with Burnley and Bournemouth. He needs an opportunity, and he's taken them into 2 Champions League seasons and a League Cup win, first domestic trophy in 70 years. So, I just hope Frank can be as successful as Howe plus. So, no, I'm very happy.
Yeah, but by the way, that wasn't me doubting whether or not Frank could do it. I just think it's going to be very interesting to see who does he pick and who does he not. It's difficult because as fans, we always go, oh, what's our best 11? But managers can't quite think like that, can they? Managers have to think about the squad, freshness. I mean, I guess you're going to have to look and say, right, how much football has Kolo Muani played lately? How much football has Has Xavi Simons played? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. But can I ask, as a fan, as like, you know, that kid in you as a football fan, you want to see Mawani and Simons go straight in against West Ham? Do you want to see them go straight into the Premier League?
When you consider Tuesday nights, he may hold Mawani back for that and start with Richie and Johnson on the left, and bring Mawani in for Tuesday. So we'll see. And with Simons, I don't know how many games he's played pre-season, so not too sure on that. How fit he is. He may put him on for 60.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Xavi Simons. Here we go. So Simons has played matches. So he didn't play the other night against Lithuania. 79 minutes against Poland. His last 90 minutes was on the 22nd of August. So what's that about? What's that?
3 weeks ago. It's 3 weeks.
20, yeah, 20 days ago. For that, he had 390 minutes in a row though in 10 days. So I don't know how fit he is. I guess that's what they'll have been looking at since he came back from playing with the Netherlands. But I mean, the kid in me wants to see Mawani and Simons go straight in. You know, I want to see Kudus with Simons, with Paulinho, with Mawani. I don't know if we will see it. I don't think we will. But let's talk about the West Ham game. Sorry, it's not tomorrow. I know everybody. I'm on different time zone. I don't know where I am at the moment. West Ham, a lot more importance on this game than maybe there would have been, Lubo, because of the Bournemouth defeat. West Ham are coming off the back of a 3-0 away win to Forest, if I'm not wrong. So they're coming off the back of an away win. They're at home. We're coming off the back of a home defeat. Big game for both clubs, right? So early on.
Listen, every game's a big game, I think. Every game is massive in the Premier League. No game is easy. I think that's what separates the Premier League from the other leagues, is the every game's got to be fought and won. Will he be benched for West Ham? I don't think he will be, actually. Not for an away game. I expect to see Paulinho in most away games in the Premier League, particularly where it's West Ham's cup final. So they always put it out for us. West Ham, listen, we made a good start. What are we? We're 4 clear of Newcastle, 5 clear of Villa already, I think. So we got to keep building. We got to keep building. We've got to keep that buffer, stay in that top 4 as long as we can. And we've got a nice run of fixtures. After West Ham, you've got Brighton away, got Wolves at home, Leeds away, 18th. Then you've got Villa at home, then Everton away before November starts.
Hang on, Brighton, Leeds, and Everton away. It's not.
No, but they're winnable games. They are winnable games.
Sure. I'm not saying they're not winnable, but I wouldn't say they're not.
If you go to City and win, you can go to those clubs and win.
Yeah, of course. But you're not just going to rock up and win every away game, are you? You're not going to.
Of course not. Of course not. I'm not saying they will, but they're all winnable. Potentially it's potentially a good run of games. We can pick up a nice amount of points for the next 5 or 6 games, and all of a sudden, you're into 9-10 games in the season. Maybe you've got maybe 20 points, and all of a sudden you're looking, you're in that top 4 or 5. And the longer it goes on, the more you're putting away from other clubs because they're dropping points. So
I think there's a lot more importance now on this game because of the defeat to Bournemouth. Because a lot of fans, we would have thought after the first 2, you think, okay, you've got Bournemouth at home, no disrespect to them, but make that 3 out of 3. Suddenly you're going into West Ham to make it 4 out of 4. I think the Bournemouth game just kind of gave everyone a bit of a back down to earth. Everything was going too well. And now, what we don't want to be doing is sitting there going, oh, we've, played 4, lost 2, won 2. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Would you take a point?
Want to take a point? No, I'll go with all 3. I want all 3. If you're going to hit top 4, top 5, I say top 5, not top 4. If you're going to hit top 5, then for me, you've got to places like West Ham and win. You got to go there and you got to get points at Brighton, Everton, Fulham. You know, where we lost every match last season. So no, listen. Sean said to me yesterday on his show, who is your sort of dark horse this season? Which team could surprise you? And I said, well, look, if Moani and Simmons settle in quickly, and if we steer clear of injuries, it could be Spurs. It could be Spurs. It's going to be an interesting season. You know, you would expect Newcastle and Villa to start well. They haven't. You know, Bournemouth are up there with Everton are up there. So it's a different start to the season.
Yeah. Everton, I think, are going to be a decent outfit this year. I think Everton will be. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to be great. It's David Moyes. You know how they're going to play, but I do feel like they've brought some very good players in. But look, I feel like what I will do in this show is I will announce before I end the show where I predict Spurs to finish, because I've not actually done it yet. I said I'd wait till the transfer window shut. The transfer window has shut. We've not played since, so it doesn't change anything. And I will say, because for me, I've been floating around in my head this idea of, I thought without Moani and without Simmons, I think it would have been a really tough year. But I think you're bang on, Lubo. I think this is going to be, how does Moani hit the ground running? Does Moani turn into our 20 goal a season in all competition striker?
That's right.
Does he become our striker? Does he get rotated? Because I always feel like for a striker to be your 20 goal a season man, they don't normally get rotated, do they? They're normally the man. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Paulinho, I think, is going to have to be monitored. I don't think he's going to be able to play 2 games a week. I don't think Bentancur will. I don't think many of them will. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Let me ask you first, and then I'll put my neck on the line. If you had to pick a position right now, where are you saying? People, please clip this bit of me saying this, because I don't want, and down the line, people going, oh, you said we'd finish 15th when I didn't say it. Where right now, if I had to get a number, where are you saying the Spurs will finish?
I think we'll finish 6th. And with it, we'll bring a very good opportunity to win a trophy next season in the Europa League. That's how I see it. That's how I see it going. I think to go straight from 17th to Champions League,
that's a big ask. It's a big ask.
Is a big ask. But if it carries on like this, and it's a strange season, isn't it? You know, you look at some of the results. I mean, Palace went to Chelsea and drew. You know, Palace have got a strong side. They went to Villa and won 3-0. So, you know, there have been some strange games. And I'm very happy. If you'd have asked me at 3 o'clock 3 o'clock kickoff before the Burnley game, going into the international break, if we had 6 points out of 9, would you be happy? I'd have taken that all day long, although I thought we'd lose at City and beat Bournemouth. So you take 6 out of 9, and, you know, 2 clean sheets as well. We haven't had a clean sheet since Man United, middle of February. And we've had 2 clean sheets out of 3. And we've taken PSG all the way, which, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should have won that. But to get a 2-2 draw with the European champions, I thought was a great result, great performance. So for me, it's been an encouraging, really good start. The shine was slightly taken off with Bournemouth, but 6 out of 9 for me is a good start.
Yeah, it's interesting because that narrative will quickly change. If it turns into 6 out of 12, people will spin it. And if it's 9 out of 12, it's, well, let's be fair. If somebody had said to you at the beginning of the summer, from the first 4 league games, you're going to get 9 points, you'd bite their hand off, wouldn't you? So that's why I think it's a big game. I'm going to go with Lubo. Do you know what? We don't agree on everything. I'm going to agree with you on this. I'm going to go 6th. I think that a lot is going to depend, as always, players staying fit, 2 games a week. I think a lot is going to depend on Moani. I'm going to say this. You know me, I don't rate Solanke and I don't rate Richie. I think a lot is going to depend on Moani and Simmons and how they settle in. I think it's one of those.
Who's going to finish 5th then?
I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying it's beyond possibility that we do. I'm not saying it's beyond possibilities. If anyone says, "Oh, I think we're going to finish 6th," then sure, you've got to have that open-mindedness that we finish 5th or 7th. I just think we're going to need a lot to go our way to finish in the top 5. I think playing 2 games a week, we're going to find out, aren't we? Can Van der Ven and Romero stay fit this season?
Yeah, that's the key.
That's a key question mark. Does Porro stay fit? He stayed fit last year. Does he stay fit? Does Frank find the missing ingredient for the left side? What does Frank and the board do in January? So there's a lot of moving parts, but I think 6th. I think we'll finish 6th, 5th if we get a really good run of games at some point. Why has Stewie got a bow tie on? He's taking the dog for a walk. Stewie's got a bow tie on. He's a pug. I'm going to go with 6th. I think that we've made some good additions. However, like anything, things can change. Injuries change everything. But there's no way I think we finish outside the top 7. I don't now.
No, I think we'll qualify for Europe. I think we'll qualify. I'd say on the comments, one of the guys has put Newcastle 5th. Newcastle is they've got to change the whole way they play their whole style of football, because the new boy they've got up front is completely different to Isak. So
they've got two, haven't they?
Yeah, but Callum Wilson can't stay fit, can he?
No, Callum Wilson's not there, mate. Callum Wilson's playing against us on Saturday for West Ham.
Of course, Callum. Sorry, so who was the second? Sorry, who was their second? Yeah, sorry, Vissa. So there you go. Look at that.
Why you got a bow tie? Why is it red? Why is it red?
That's more the question. He's got a bow tie. FHTV's back on, so he's obviously celebrating. But come on, Sav.
Why is it red?
Sav, we don't have red in our household at all. You've got to stop this, mate.
Hang on, 1 second.
You've got to stop it.
Come on. You come over on your bow tie. Oh, look. Stanley's got a Man City boat. We're going to have a word with the wife, aren't we?
Well,
we're going to have a word with the wife. Man City and Arsenal colours. What's going on?
She's out of control, Sam. You've got to rein her back. This is not good enough. Chelsea and Man City.
Chelsea and Man City. No Spurs. No white.
Don't tell Sean.
I know. But no. You're look. That's a good question. Let's have a look at the league table. And see who do we think is going to finish where. Right. I'm going to go with. I think with the signings Liverpool have made, I mean, can you see past Liverpool winning it with the signings they've made?
I think that's the table before Liverpool beat Arsenal.
Oh, 1 sec. Well, there you go. You can see how long.
There you go. And where's he gone?
Sorry, don't know what happened there. Let me add that back. There you go. So there's the table. So Liverpool played 3, won 3, 8 goals. The thing is for me, Lubo, is Liverpool, I think, will outscore anyone. I don't know how great they're going to be at the back. I just think they're going to outscore everyone.
That's the key. The key is whether they keep Van Dijk fit, because they haven't got much cover, have they? That's their problem. So, and they should for me, getting rid of Concert before getting in someone like Gahey earlier, for me was a mistake.
Yeah, but hang on, you say that. That Leone, I think he's better than Quansah.
Again, how old is he?
18.
Well, we talk about
up to the Italian squad though.
Vuskovic was 18. It would send him out on loan. So, is he ready for Premier League football? This 18-year-old kid.
I know. You got to remember they got Joe Gomez. They got Endo that can play there.
Well, Endo's a bit of that's a stopgap. They've got Canate, Gomez, and Van Dijk, and that's it. That is it in terms of established centre backs. They got 3. We're moaning about not bringing one in, and we've got Romero, Van der Ven. We got 3. Then we got Dragusin, who's back in training, 4. You got Davis, who could come in, 5. So we're not short compared to Liverpool.
No, I've seen this Leone play though in Italy, and I think he's a good player from what I've seen. I think he's a really good player. Listen, maybe they'll fall short there, but as I said, I think what gets them out of that hole is look at the goals: Salah, Isak, Ekatike, Gakpo, Wirtz, Szoboszlai. I mean, mate, it's just a mountain of goals, isn't it?
They spent 459 million, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled back in just over 200. So that goes to show you, doesn't it? You know, that, again, it's in the recruitment. What did we sell? We brought in 30 million, didn't we? For Sonny, Brian Gill, and $1 million for Keeley. I think brought in 30 million. That was it. Liverpool brought in nearly 9 times that. So it's down to the recruitment. You know, you've got to buy good quality players. If you're gonna move them on, you know, they're going to be worth their money. So
let's have a look.
There we go. 484 from Chris Kendall. 484 million.
Well, let's have a look at Liverpool. I mean, listen, I thought City might win it, but then when I saw Liverpool's end to the window, Liverpool's window, I just think I'll say this. I'll be brutally honest, and I don't normally put pressure on managers like this. The amount of money they've spent on top of a team that's already won the league, Lubo, they should be winning the quad. Like, let's be brutally honest. That much money on those levels of players. Right, here you go. Look at this.
Maybe the treble, but you saw how far off PSG they were last season. They were, PSG was so far ahead of everybody in our country, and they beat everybody, didn't they?
Mm. I mean, look at that. If you look at those from that 3, they're adding that first 3 to Mo Salah, Gakpo, and Szoboszlai.
That's what about 300 million plus buys you, isn't it? So
there you go. So 484 million euros. Hang on. Let's have a look.
I'll tell you what that is.
484 million euros in pounds. 420. It's roughly 420 million.
Yeah.
See, that's why when people say to me, our best window ever, how great it was, I'm like, hang on, didn't we spend about 120 million? Come on, you're telling me we didn't have any money?
That's right. I mean, if you include, depends who you include in the window. Danso's money was offset by Højbjerg, less 3 or 4 million. So call it 4 million for Danso, 29 for Tell, that's 33.
Yeah.
55 for Kudus, that's 88. And then you bought who's the third one? Sorry, I've had a mind blank. So that's 88 plus. Oh, who was the third? Not Polini. Polini and Simmons, 52. So that's 140 million. So there's 140 million. If everything's included, we spent 140 million less Sonny, Brian Hill, and Keeley. So it's about 110. So
because they put transfer market, they put in Tell, Danso, and Vuskovic into this window. I don't know about you. I don't. There we go. Look. So they put 3 of them in. Listen, Danso was agreed in January.
Sorry, you got Sakai, and you've got the 2 loan amounts as well. So there's another. I think it's another 15 million. I think on top, five of each. So you've got 125 million. So
yeah, I just feel where I'm frustrated. I just feel we could have done so much more.
well,
I really do.
We could have done, but we didn't, and we got to move on. And listen, the squad's better for me. It's better than it was last season. Kudus for me. Kudus is better than the Sonny. We've got a 6. We've lost a 10, but for me, Simmons is better than Maddison. So for me, the squad's better. The squad's better. Players will perform better because they're under a proper manager now. Can't wait to see how Ange pulls Forest down the table. I think that should be superb. Looking forward to seeing Wolfie on one of these shows.
He'll be on.
Well, Wolfie, you've got a 6-pointer with Burnley this week. How do you feel about that? And we'll see.
I've been speaking to Wolfie quite a lot in the last few days. I feel like he's a little bit all over the place at the moment with his own emotions. So, and I'm live with him at 4 p.m. for Football's 12-Man podcast, and then at 5:30 on his channel. Got a long day of it today. People asking about the fantasy football league. I'll be honest, I've done what I usually do. I've put out my fantasy league team and then not changed it once since the season started. I always do this. I always forget. I just don't care about it enough. But hey, let's see who's winning that, shall we? So in my fantasy football league, at the top is champions elect Rob Childs. The Jedi Knights are second. Killer Free is in third. Tadarius Takudus in fourth with Eddie. I Will Not Win is in fifth. Team Andrew is in sixth. Thomas the Frank Engine in seventh. Spursy in eighth. Cruise Control in ninth. And I Only Wanted Spurs, which is Perchy in 10th. Perchy in 10th. Yeah, look, Lubo, it's going to be interesting. I don't want to go on forever. I've just got back, so I don't want to come straight on and do a massive 2-3 hour stream. I'll leave it with this. If Thomas Frank gets out of the Champions League stage gets to the knockout stages, finishes in the top 6, and has a decent run in one of the cups, is that a good first year for Thomas Frank?
I think so. I think it is. We're never going to win a trophy. We're not in the Europa League this year. We're on a completely different level of competition in Europe. And Frank's coming in and putting together what was a complete mess tactically for the last 2 years.
Great.
So he's come in June, July. Now you've got more clarity at the club. You've had all the changes. He must have walked in and thought, Jesus Christ, what have I walked into here after complete stability for 7 years at Brentford, with his own team, with the same owners. Look what he's walked into for the last 2 months. So for me, it all bodes well. Key, as I said, 2 key things: how the new boys settle in, and if we stay injury free. And if everything works out on both of those points in a positive way, I'm really looking forward to this season.
Yeah, me too. I think this year for me, stability, let him build, let him grow, and then kick on next season. I think that would be the best way. Listen, guys and girls, I'm going to leave it there today. Just quickly, we have got a super chat here. Big up to Emma over there in Teesside. Thank you very much, Emma. Really appreciate you. She's put in another super sticker, so it's her second one of the day. Thank you very much. You guys have been rubbish upon my return for likes. Only 308 likes. Let's see. Did we get any subscribers today? Let's see what we got. Oh, we got 7. So we got a few, which was quite good. Guys, I'll be back live tonight just between 7 and 8. And then at 8 p.m., actually, am I live? I might not be. 8 p.m., the Spurs 5, where there'll be
4 tonight.
4 of us. No Johnny tonight. So it'll be myself, Lubo, Sean, and Stel live at 8 p.m. tonight. Much love. Please, people have said that they've been buying the shirts from OK Jersey and they're really good. And trust me, they are. I've got one on now. If you are a large, get a size up. If you are a medium, get a size up. So forth. They're really good. as per the scrolling banner at the bottom. Big up, Errol. As per the scrolling banner, go to okjersey.com for replica kits. Really good quality. They're roughly about £15 if you're in the UK. And then you get an 8% discount by using the code SAVVA, SAVVA. Much love. Listen, Lubo, thanks very much. Good to see you as always. And other than that, I'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight. Thank you to everyone. Smash the like button. Please subscribe. Let me actually, hang on, how rude of me. Hang on, let me send you over to somewhere. Sorry, that was about to be very, very rude. 1 second, people. I'll redirect you all over to who's live. Who's live? Who's live? No one from Spurs is live. I'm gonna send you over to Never a Foul. When you get there, just type in Savva Raid. And please hit the like and the subscribe button for them guys. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.